been a crazy Tuesday in more ways than one. Want to say greetings, good evening, how you doing? It is 8 minutes after the top of the 8 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone on this 17th day of January. Welcome in to Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio in a multiple location station. Live from the Audio Cave, I am part of the GCW announce team and the Associate Commissioner, Fast Eddie Layne, being joined by the one, the only, the inimitable, from the House of Pain, he is himself, the Mad Dog, Dan Sawyer. Daniel, how you doing, man?
Doing great. You know, it's the first time we've got to chat really in 2017.
That is.
And yeah, we're getting pumped. It's Regeneration time. It's 2017. And what a show we got coming up January the 28th. Saturday night, January 28th, Pell City, Alabama at the Pell City Civic Center.
You know you're not getting off that. No.
It's great.
You know you're not getting off that easy, right? You know you're not getting off that easy, right? So what was it, 5 days ago?
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you're not letting me off with. Yeah, I hit big 4-3, 27 years of wrestling. So, yeah, it was cool. I survived. I've lived another year, and it's great. And I don't take that lightly. You know, I'm happy to be 43. I got to hang out with the Usos a little bit the other night, and they razzed me about how much better I looked than what, you know, I saw them 2 years ago as Extra Talent. They're like, dude, you've leaned down so much. It is just uncanny, you know? So it was great to see those guys at the WWE SmackDown House show. And Megan's been ribbing me for quite a few years. Natalie Neidhart, Natalia, always gives me attention. And we were right on the sixth row. And she came up and she blew a kiss to me. And he goes, you know why she blows your kisses, right? I was like, well, I hope she thinks I'm handsome. I don't know. He goes, you look just like her dad, dude. So when she came back through after the match, I grabbed the goatee and went, so, O'Hagan, can't let you get over for a second, you know.
Oh, no.
He's running around there. You know, he always ribs me about that. Yeah, he always says that. But, yeah, I ran into him for a few seconds. And, yep, he was reminding me of the last time that we actually got to sit together when we were the 5-Star Fight Club. But, you know, different days, different times. We had some big belt changes last time. And Mad Justice losing the World Tag Team titles to the Night Prowler and Mr. Mudbone, the Mystic from San Monique. No excuses. Another day to fight. You know, they've got a huge match coming up January 28th. Two guys that are well known in the New York area, and that's where they're coming from. It's the tag team of the Barbarians, and they're known as Misery and Damien. And they're two tough individuals. Well over 6 foot, both of them, and both pushing the 250, 265 mark. I think both of them had some college football careers, and the reason they've been trying to get on for a while, but the night before GCW, I'm going to be in Murfreesboro in Tennessee, and we're doing Fight for the Mind 2.
Right.
And that's the best of the best wrestling, and that's a star-studded card with Tommy Dreamer, the Barbarians, Tracy Smothers, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Rebel from TNA, the Natural Chase Stevens, Chris Michaels, and the list goes on and on. But what a night that's going to be, and that's for a great, great cause, the Fight for the Mind 2. And that's on Friday night, the 27th of January. Don't want to confuse anyone. But I'm excited about the commentary team. I've been invited. After doing some commentary last year with the AWA, I was invited to be a part with Shooter Sean, as I'll call him. He's one of the referees at GCW, but he's one of the part of the promotion team with Fight for the Mind. But Jim Cornette, I'm going to get to commentate with Jim Cornette, and I am popping for that. I just hope they remind Jimmy that it's a PG.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a Go Fight live pay-per-view event, And maybe next week I can give a little more information on that. But I'm excited to be commentating with the Corn Man, old Corny himself. And, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. And it's for a good cause. Like I said, I think it's for Alzheimer's and dementia.
It is.
Research and stuff like that. And this is the second one, and looking forward to being a part of that. But I digress on that because the Barbarians are going to be in Tennessee that night. And so they want to come down, and they think they got a shot to take the World Tag Team titles away from the recently crowned Night Prowler and Mudbone. So, wow, what a title defense that's going to be on January 28th in Pell City. So, looking forward to that tag team match. Going to put those boys on point and be ready to go. But what a night of matches it's going to be, January 28th, Regeneration. We saw Charles Xander shock the wrestling world last month as he defeated the longest reigning middleweight GCW champion, O'Hagan. I mean, there are people still raving about that. O'Hagan still says he's not been beat. That's what's crazy.
Really?
I don't know what's going on, but he says he's got a formal meeting with the commissioner and the board and all that kind of stuff. He says he did not lose that belt. And, it's not watching a monitor. I was calling the action with you.
Right.
I was 20 feet away. We were right there, headset to. I remember looking at you. Could you believe what just happened here? I mean, I'm excited for the young man. Charles Xander is a talent, part of Trending Now, the tag team with Ace Haven. But the man has his first singles gold, and it's at the GCW Middleweight Championship. He's got a challenger. A man that the TV champion. For quite some time back in the day before the TV championship became the middleweight, and that is P-Dog, Mr. Mike Posey. And that's going to be a barn burner, if you will, because that could be a main event any place, any card in the world, and that's not even the main event that night. I mean, those guys are... That's a match I'm excited to see. I may have to step out there and commentate with you on that one. If you will allow that.
Oh, hell yeah.
I get excited when I get out there. A lot of these young guys, they send in their tapes, they send in their stuff, and they like to be a part of it. And being part of the booking committee, I'm glad to see when these young guys go out there and just, work their butts off. That's what they do. And, Charles Xander, middleweight champion. I'm excited for him, but he does have quite the challenge coming at him with P-Dog Mike Posey on January 28th.
Very true, because Posey in and of himself. Now, Xander's, this was one of the things that I'd made the statement about when it came down to brass tacks between O'Hagan and Xander's for the middleweight title. O'Hagan verbally ran down Xander's because of the fact that Xander's is where O'Hagan has been before. And he wasn't going to cut Xander's any slack whatsoever. He admitted off air and on air that Charles Xander's was a great talent. But by the same token, Xander's needed to... Go ahead.
He still can't accept that he's been beat. That's in his mind, he's still the middleweight champion. And,
very true.
As I saw the young man leaving the building that night, he had the belt on his shoulder. He had his hand raised in the ring with 200-plus fans that were there that night. And I'm telling you, we've got a new middleweight champion, and his name is Charles Xander. And I'm excited for that young man. He has put in the work, not just in one venue, but all over the Southeast. I mean, he even made a road trip to Mississippi to Ego with myself back in the summer. And I'm excited for him because he's got the fire and desire to want to go as far as he can, and he does have what it takes. I mean, it's not just anybody that gets invited to the Evolve shows, to the Ring of Honor shows. to participate in the dojo, for Ring of Honor. I mean, the guy has got it going on, and I'm excited for him. I can't say it enough times to see a young guy really get out there and really, really, really go at it hard. I know we're being joined by some of the members of the main event and that fatal four-way here on the show tonight, and I know we'll get to that main event in a moment. But we've got some guest superstars of GCW calling in, so I know you guys love to hear me and Eddie talk, and we like to hear ourselves talk sometimes. But, we're going to be joined tonight by two former GCW heavyweight champions, and that'll be coming up here in just a few minutes. So you don't want to go anywhere, and wait to see who's joining us. We got two of the four competitors in the GCW Heavyweight Championship Fatal Four-Way.
And that is going to be an exceptional match. One of the things that I really wanted to mention about the upcoming match between P-Dog Mike Posey and Charles Zanders is the factor of Zanders is once again stepping wholeheartedly into the fire against somebody whose cardio is off the chart. Flexibility and agility is on par with some of the all-time greats going yesterday and today. And the fact that the attitude shift that he had when the evolution of P-Dog started. Posey's not afraid to cut corners. And Zanders is going to have to be ready for that first and foremost. But as far as it goes, you're talking about a person who has wrestled all across the country and on different continents when you're talking about Mike Posey. Not to mention... go ahead.
Yeah, he's had more WrestleMania moments than a lot of WWE superstars because he was employed by WWE as a referee for many, many years, and he was a referee in TNA. He's been a wrestler for well over 10 years, but he was drawing checks from TNA and WWE, and people say, well, he was a referee. What do you learn as a referee? Every way that you can beat a man, and I think that has made him a stronger in-ring performer because he might know a trick or two that not the average bear knows. So P-Dog, not just his rap, but the most flexible man in professional wrestling today. Yeah. That is no kidding. I mean, he can do like the real splits. I would say he could hold a candle to Rob Van Dam back in the heyday, back when Rob was much younger. But Posey's in top-notch shape, and he wants a shot at the gold in GCW. He said it's been too long. So Regeneration, here we go, kicking things off January 28th. So, just one of the many matches that is quite the draw for box office ability on January the 28th for Global Championship Wrestling.
And if I can do the honors, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined at this time by one of those that will be in the main event at Regeneration 2017, January the 28th at the Pell City Civic Center. He is a former GCW heavyweight champion. This man is a gold magnet just about everywhere he goes. He also has more hashtags than most people have active brain cells. And I'll compare that number to the members of Mensa, plain and simple on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, the king of the Southeast, the Supreme Fachim, if you know what I mean, Francisco Ciatso. Mr. Ciatso, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm cooking my my queen and newly, I don't know if you'd say acquired. I don't know if that's the right word. Newly acquired fiance. Our 2-year anniversary dinner. Stormy Lee is out and about and running some errands before we hit the road this weekend for North Carolina, and then back to Tennessee for our double shot. So I'm making us a 2-year anniversary dinner. I got her a bouquet of red roses, long stem red roses, and so anybody who follows me on Facebook, which is about 5,000 people, because I always get people complaining and I can't add anyone because I got 5,000 friends, which I know probably 10 of them and talk to 2 of them. She got me pre-workout for an anniversary present, so she knows all about those gains, that I'm doing in the gym. So I was at a pre-workout. So I got her a dozen long stem red roses, and she got me some Blue Raz C4 by Cellucor. So I think that's a pretty good even trade.
And like you needed that to be fired up for the show, because you stay wide open, like Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s accelerator at the Talladega 500. So
that's the God's honest truth, man. I mean, I hit legs tonight, and you know, I took a double shot of that C4 under my tongue, and inhaled the smoke as I opened it, which I always like to do, and it pops everybody, and then next thing you know, I got 9 plates on each side of the leg press, popping it out for 8 like it was nothing. I could have probably went to 10 or 12, but I have to wrestle this weekend, so I figured I kind of need to walk a little bit, so I kind of backed off a tad. But you know, killed legs tonight, 60 minutes of cardio after I hit legs, so I'm begging somebody to try to keep up with me, man. I'm blowing guys out of the water that are 15, 16, 17 years my junior. They can't keep up with me.
Well, I'm excited to see you in this Fatal 4-Way. You earned this match last month at Global Championship Wrestling. You defeated Michael Steele, and now here you are, getting a chance to go for the gold again. You have been a GCW champion in years in the past, but this year you've got a match. There's 3 other guys competing against you, and one of those is former GCW multiple-time champion and tag team champion Micah Taylor, and the Dream Chaser Dylan Cook, and your tag team partner as of late and throughout this last year, the Bowser brothers, the Dream Killer, Eric Wayne, third-generation superstar.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting Saturday on the 28th in Pell City, Alabama, for GCW, and I'm going for the 3-peat. I'm a 2-time GCW heavyweight champion. You know, me and Micah Taylor are definitely no strangers to one another, all the way dating back to WWE's Deep South, and you know, of course, we had our wars at GCW and all over Alabama and Georgia and all points in between. And of course, like you stated, Eric Wayne, third-generation star, and also my tag team partner, and one half of the Bowser brothers and AIWF tag team champions. And of course, you can hear Thor in the background barking like he's 600-pound, you know, pit bull. But nonetheless, it's definitely going to be an interesting night. Dylan Cook is a young up and comer, still cutting his teeth. In my opinion, I think he's way out of sorts in a match of this magnitude with the talent that's in that match. But everybody's got to start somewhere, and everybody's got to take a beating sometime. And even the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again. So I guess on the 28th, the sun's going to shine on Dylan Cook's ass. If he makes it out of that match walking, I'll be surprised. But it's definitely going to be a learning experience for the kid. Last time I was in the ring with him, he ate a knee of mine and didn't wake up until Sunday morning. So you know, if he's not careful, he might catch that same knee again.
Well, I know you're a tough individual. I know you've been a champ. You're holding gold right now for the AIWF tag team. But I've tag teamed with you myself. It's kind of funny. I've tagged with every man in this particular match at one point or another, except for Dylan Cook. But I did train him at the Mad Dog's House of Pain. I did train him right, and he's doing well for himself. He is a young man, and yes, you know, he defeated Mike Posey last time to get this spot. So it's a main event spot, and you know, there are no teammates. The last time he was in a main event was at Global Warfare 2 years ago, and he was competing against you and me and Mike Cruz and Simon Says, and you know, that I had a different, you know, attitude at that time, but you know, we did some damage as a team. So I know you got a violent side, and I know Eric's got a violent side. I've tagged with him, and he's coming up later on the show. So I know that you guys know what you're doing. But what a main event this is going to be with you 4 gentlemen in this Fatal 4-Way. Micah Taylor, Dylan Cook, yourself, Francisco Ciatso, the king of pro wrestling, and the Dream Killer, Eric Wayne. So
absolutely,
you know,
man. It's anytime GCW puts together a card, it's definitely a super card, regardless of what time of the year it is. The one thing I can run, not just because you're on the phone and not just because I work for the company, but I'm going into my third year now of GCW, and it's just been getting better and better and better, and the crowds are there, and the crowd loves that. Loves GCW and love what we're doing there. And when you got fans like the legendary Peanut, leading the charge, and, when you got fans coming up to you, whether they boo you or cheer you, and they're buying your merch and they're telling you, you had a great job out there, and so on and so forth. And even though they love to hate you or they love to love you, at the end of the day, they're buying a ticket, and it's a testament to how long, GCW has been around. Quite possibly, it's probably, in my opinion, the longest independent company that I know of in the Alabama, in the Alabama area. I could be wrong, but I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's got to be going on 10 or 12 years now. So.
No, we've been going since '97 as GCW, but before that, in 1992, with Southern Star Championship Wrestling. Right. But the opportunity came about in '97 to get the name from Joe Pedicino and those guys with Global, and here we are. And yeah, I'm glad to be just a part of the roster, no matter what part I'll be playing or where I'll be, is whether I'm commentating or in the ring. I love to be in the ring. That's the hottest point of my life. I love every second of wrestling. But, people, if you've never seen this and you're listening to this radio broadcast tonight, whether it's recorded or live, if you like pro wrestling, I would say the roster that we have right now is the best of wrestling's past, present, and future. And the reason we say the past is because we still have the Armstrongs, Bullet Bob, Steve Armstrong come in, the Rock and Roll Express. We've had Jerry Lawler. We've had, he didn't even say his name, but Flair. He didn't wrestle, but he came and helped raise some money for a good cause back in 2008. But the late great Dusty Rhodes, Terry Funk. There's been quite a few names come through, but right now the focus is on this fatal four-way January 28th to find out who is going to be the new GCW heavyweight champion, because the champion will be crowned on this night, and history will be made. And we're just all kind of waiting to see. I'm excited to see this match as well as be a part of this card on January 28th. But you guys have put in the work. You've earned your spots, and, we're off to the races.
I'm more than looking forward to it. Anytime I get to step in the ring with the talent and the magnitude of a guy like Micah Taylor, Eric Wayne, and even young Billy Cook, my work's cut out for me. But at the end of the day, whether Eric Wayne and I are tag team partners, buddies, traveling partners, so on and so forth, whether I have all the respect in the world for Micah Taylor and so on and so forth, I'm going to walk out of that ring with 20 pounds of GCW gold in my bag for the third time. Hashtag three-peat, hashtag Supreme Pachin, hashtag measuring stick, hashtag hardest worker in the room, hashtag King of the Southeast, hashtag Bonnie and Clyde of professional wrestling, hashtag Bestia, hashtag Beliza, hashtag try to keep up, hashtag you can't.
Hashtag pre-workout.
C4 for my anniversary present. Beautiful.
That's right.
And I got a knee brace too. I'm looking right at my dual hinge shock doctor knee brace for my grizzled knee. So I got that as an anniversary present too. But I'm definitely looking forward to it, guys. I really appreciate it. Anytime I get a chance to come on and talk to you guys, it's always a pleasure and a lot of fun. Appreciate everything everyone's doing for us and keeping us busy and helping us pay our bills. So that's always a plus.
Did we lose Eddie? I hope not. He's the host of the show.
No, he's right here.
We don't need him anyway. Goodbye.
There you go.
Nah, we got to have that man. He is the man behind the curtain that keeps the wheels rolling.
I was enjoying enjoying listening.
It's a pleasure, guys. I know you got some other people you're going to be talking to tonight, so I won't ramble on like I normally do. And but I will definitely see you guys on the 28th in Pell City, Alabama. And again, Mad Dog, Dan, all the best. All the guys there and everybody's families, be safe. And if you're going to be on the road the next couple of weeks, be safe. And I'll see you guys in Pell City.
You got it, brother.
All right, guys.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Thank you, King.
Tell you what, folks, we're going to take a bottom of the hour break. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
The Mad Dog's House of Pain, the only nationally licensed pro wrestling school in the state of Alabama. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, trained by the Junkyard Dog, will be your trainer. You want to be a professional wrestling superstar? Learn from GCW's own Mad Dog's House of Pain. With over 22 years experience, learn from the Mad Dog's House of Pain. 205-567-6482. Start your career today. Call 205-567-6482.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motor Fast Eddie Layne as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
Imagine me, a dog, moving in with a human. I didn't know how it would work. Turns out, my human's pretty entertaining. For instance, every time I give my human his ball, he throws it as far as he can. And I'm like, dude, that's your ball. So I go get it. But he just throws it. Again. I gotta say, though, the more he does it, the funnier it is. I love my human.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Hey, Dad, how do you throw a curveball? How do you build a fort? How do refrigerators run? How do fish learn how to swim?
Kids ask a lot of questions.
How high can you jump?
But you don't have to know every answer.
How many phone numbers are there?
Because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
How do cell phones work?
There are thousands of children in foster care who don't need every question answered.
What's electricity?
They just need you.
What's the moon made of?
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by adoptuskids.org.
I don't know how to talk like a parent. Don't make me come back there. You see what I mean? It's pretty awful. Try it again. Don't make me come back there. Now that's pretty good. That one kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit adoptuskids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad
And we are back 23 before the top of the hour on this Tuesday night thing. Welcome back into GCW Radio from Global Championship Wrestling. I had a hiccup in midstream, and it's just like I was fighting it every step of the way. Fast Eddie Layne over here in the cave, welcoming back in Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. What's up, brother?
I'm glad to be back. Here we're back from the break talking about Regeneration 2017. That's coming up Saturday night, January the 28th, Pell City, Alabama, Pell City Civic Center, 7:30 Central Time, bell time. And let's get back to talking about that action. The Violent Gentleman, managed by the Wicked Nemesis. And I'm sure next week he'll want to join us. We got some more guests that are going to be joining us next week to talk about the January 28th show. But Violent Gentleman taking on Jack Gunn, Cowboy Jack Gunn, and Big K, Pride of Birmingham. And, what a tag team match this is going to be. And this all kind of came down the pike when the Gentleman decided to add a little insult to injury on top of Mad Justice last month when we lost our belts, the World Tag Team titles, to the Mudbone and the Night Prowler. And they are the current World Tag Team Champions. We spoke of them earlier, taking on the Barbarians on this great card for Regeneration, the 28th of January. But Cowboy Jack Gunn, Big K, they're going against the Violent Gentleman. The challenge was brought out. Wicked says, if you boys want to ever see gold, you're going to have to beat my team here. And that is the team of the Violent Gentleman. And Scott and Andrew, these guys have they've made a name for themselves over the last 6 months of 2016. And here we are. One of these teams is going to be a number one contender for the World Tag Team titles at some future date in GCW this year in 2017. So what a match this is going to be to catch. You got kind of a ground and pound, more of a pound guy with Cowboy Jack Gunn. He's got some of the biggest hands. I don't know, when you shake hands with him, pay attention next time. He's got some of the biggest hands in professional wrestling today. It's not the Big Show, but he's got some paws, my granddad used to say, and he's got some chops. He's got this double punch that he does, and he calls it the double tap. And it's just like a hammer fist to the top of the head. And I've been in Mississippi and seen him knock a few guys out over the years. But, Big K, Big K has really developed since graduating from the Mad Dog's House of Pain. He's been on the road some and done some shows in Pro South and throughout the area. And now he's tagged up with Jack Gunn, which they're no strangers to each other.
Oh, no.
And I know the Junkyard Dog Memorial Tag Team tournaments, starting next month. So no time like getting a match in to see kind of where you are. You need a measuring stick, I guess you can say, in professional wrestling. But the thing you got to do is you got to know what your partner's thinking and doing before you get there.
Yep.
And, I know they've both been coming up to the Mad Dog's House of Pain for the last few weeks and getting ready for this match. I mean, Violent Gentleman, Peach State Tag Team Champions at one point in 2016. So they're a young team, but you never overlook your opponent. You got two young teams that are really, really wanting to make a name for themselves. Like I said, the JYD Memorial coming up in February, the start of. It'll run through March. And, these guys, they're wanting to see where they are. And there's no better way of testing yourself than going against the most successful, victorious manager in the history of the JYD, and that's Wicked Nemesis. He's managed the Unlucky Charms, version 1, version 2. And, that is Francisco was talking about being a repeat winner of gold. I'm telling you, the most successful manager, besides Howard Cross with singles gold with his guys, I would say Wicked Nemesis is the tag team man. I mean, he knows what's up, and he knows where to tell his men to be. And I know that he travels with these guys to Peach State, and he's really mentoring them. So he's a dangerous mind in professional wrestling. Whether you love him or hate him, he's dangerous. And you never know. He will get involved in a match if he has to. But the thing is, he's a good captain of the ship. Now, we're not talking like the skipper from Gilligan or Captain Stubing. We're talking like the real deal. I mean, he really can take a team to championship matches at any time, in any place, in any state. And he's even managed O'Hagan and me back a few years ago back in Georgia. And he's a hard-working manager in the sense of like James J. Dillon and Jim Cornette. He is a part of the travel. He tries to make sure his guys are getting paid. He makes sure that you got a game plan before going in there. He's like the Phil Jackson of GCW. He knows how to inspire you and tell you what to look for. He studies teams probably more than a lot of, I call it film, even though it's DVD and VHS now, but he makes his team study, just like a national championship coach. So he knows how to get a team to where they need to be. So we'll see what happens with the Violent Gentleman, Cowboy, Jack Gunn, and the Big K on January 28th in that tag team match.
You bring up a very valid point when it comes to Wicked Nemesis as well, and that is one of the things that Scott Morgan and Aiden Andrews, the Violent Gentlemen, have definitely taken to heart. They listen, they pay attention, but by the same token, they are both very, very, very strong up-and-coming minds in the world of professional wrestling. They actually get the concept of tag team wrestling. Because you have situations where a tag team looks and feels kind of like thrown together, and whereas Scott and Aiden actually work diligently on a regular basis to perfect their tag team chemistry and the flow of their work inside the ring. And I'm taking nothing away from Big K Holmes and Jack Gunn, because this is another young duo that has really, as you said perfectly, has come together and gelled as a tag team. They pay attention, they listen, they talk, they know what's going on with each other. And they are also another one of those teams that is genuinely learning their ring presence and their ring awareness with every time they step inside the ring. So this is going to be a very unique challenge. Granted, the fact that the Violent Gentlemen have a little bit more time as a tag team than Big K and Jack Gunn, but I will not sell Holmes and Gunn short in any capacity whatsoever, Dan.
Absolutely not. And just excited to see that match. These guys are, they're trying to make a name for themselves, and they're trying to get a chance to have some tag team gold around their waist.
And that's the fun part about it, because considering the fact that there is a little bit of a very uneasy alliance between the Violent Gentlemen and, as I have called them, the Vanguard, Mudbone and Night Prowler, the current GCW and the new GCW Tag Team Champions. Sorry about that, Dan. And you got to wonder, because coming into next weekend, the 28th, with everything going on with the tag team titles, you almost have to wonder if Mudbone and Prowler almost feel like that they would be stepping out of the frying pan into the fire, regardless if they are able to hold on the 28th, who they would end up facing, who they'd actually prefer to face.
That just means the water's that much deeper. I mean, what happens if the team of Misery and Damien, the Barbarians, what if they take the tag team belts from Mudbone and Prowler? I'm not saying they would or they won't, but it's like any given Saturday night, those belts, if you're locking up, you've got a chance you're going to lose that gold. And I mean, I'm telling you from personal experience, I didn't take those guys lightly. And, they can say, well, the gentleman came out and, well, Wicked Nemesis did this. I shouldn't have been suckered in. I went after him instead of concentrating on what was going on in the ring, and I did punch him, though, and it felt so good. It felt so good to punch him with that uppercut and knock him right off that apron. But it didn't bend that hair. I don't know what product that is. I mean, he fell off that thing, and he went spling, and next thing I know, I'm got these gray and black tights and these boots all over him. I was like, I thought that Prowler and Mudbone had morphed into an octopus or something, because you got all these feet hitting you from every direction. And until I went back and watched it, really didn't know what had hit me. Felt like I'd been hit by a Greyhound bus. And those guys were a part of the attack. But they were letting everyone know, take notice. The violent gentlemen are here. And that's when Cowboy Jack Gunn and Big K. Holmes did come out with a couple of chairs. And I'm glad they did, because, I did not want to receive any more shots. Those guys were kicking me right in those ribs that got broke last August, and that torn cartilage. And I felt like, oh, God, it's happened again. I don't want to leave on a stretcher. And those guys, they came to fight. I got to give it to them, But your day is coming, whether it's with a tag team partner, Mad Justice, or something. I don't know what the pairings are going to be for the JYD 2017 tournament starting in February, but I do know that January 28th, I'm going to be paying very close attention to the violent gentleman, and we'll see what happens as we get closer. I know we're going to be joined with former GCW heavyweight champion Eric Wayne, the Dream Killer, here very shortly. We've got a clash of the Titans, and I don't use that term lightly. My tag team partner, Leon the Bull Stresser, at 6'5", every bit of 270, makes a living on the streets every day as a real police officer. Taking on a man at 6'9", Logan Creed. I can't remember of a time where we had two guys over 6'5" battling it out, and Logan's every bit of 285, 290, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a match where ring crew, you better get in there and tighten every turnbuckle as you can.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because these guys may just break the ring.
You have got what has been called the extinction level event in one Logan Creed. This guy is a hoss and borderline monster. His strength is scary. But I'm also going to sit back and say this. You are talking about on the other side of the building, the other side of the ring, Leon the Bull Stresser. He has worked diligently to trim down, to shape up, to build his strength, to build his stamina. Logan Creed actually is going to be the one having his work cut out for him because of one simple thing. He's going to underestimate Leon Stresser, and that is a very dangerous thing. You brought up the point a little while ago that Stresser makes his living during the daytime as a police officer, so you know he knows how to defend himself, and you know he knows how to go on offense at the drop of a hat.
And for 3 years, he worked in the jail, and he worked on the heavy floor. He wasn't down there with the check bouncers and stuff. He was on there with guys that may not ever be getting out till 2 decades for, murdering people and breaking in, armed robbery and stuff. He had to fight all the time in the jail. He's on the street now. But don't take him lightly. I mean, and he doesn't have to have his taser or his stick or his pistol to get his job done. He has those if he needs them. But in the ring, he's, and I hate to use that old sports term, but he's got 2 hands, and he does have a fighting chance. And Logan, I can't take anything away from Logan. Logan broke my hand almost 2 years ago for WrestleMerica. My thumb still can't be straightened out unless I go in and have it surgically fixed. He is a tough man. He is strong, and he can move. And Bull's been coming up to the house of pain. We've been working out, and I said, look, here I am at 5'10". You got a guy that's a foot taller than me, but you're going to have to get low. I have to just fight for your life in there, because this guy he's coming at you, and he's going to bring everything he's got. And this is his 3rd or 4th time to be at GCW, and he's got gold in his eyes too. He's really coming in there to fight, and he doesn't ever half step ever in anything he does. But he's recently won some singles gold himself, NWA Heritage title or something like that. So, Logan Creed is we got some guys, they want to say, well, they're young because they've been working less than 5 years, but they stay busy. I mean, they're wrestling every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Recently Logan was on a big card that had MVP on it last Sunday.
Right.
And, there's not a lot of promotions that run on Sunday, but first time I ever met him was Rampage back 3 or 4 years ago. So Logan Creed, he's coming in. There's new talent, Regeneration, but let's don't overlook the Bull, because, if you mess with the Bull, you're going to get the horns. He's going to tell you, but that's not just a moniker. He's going to make sure if you fight him, you're going to know you fought him at the end of the day.
Very true. And, there's one thing that I'm going to go ahead and offer up one key real quick, because there is a slight height discrepancy between the two, 6'9", 6'4", that actually, in my opinion, gives Stresser a little bit of an advantage. Because remember, having the training that he does behind the scenes in another line of work, he also has a little bit more knowledge on how to utilize leverage, i.e. almost a judo style. And I'm not going to sit back and say Leon the Bull Stresser is a black belt in judo. I'm going to say with the courses that you have to take in self-defense, when it comes to police work, you do have a little bit more of a judo-esque style background to you, to where you can use your opponent's size, momentum, and other factors against them. And I'm willing to bet that if he keeps that in play, that's actually going to be a key to victory for Leon the Bull Stresser on the 28th in Pell City.
Yeah, and he's also been doing some boxing recently, so I think that's going to happen. But he lays that big elbow, a la he's a bionic elbow. Rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes. I think, JYD used to call it a soup bone, but he puts that big elbow across your head. I don't care how tall you are. It's going to be like chopping down a sequoia tree. The next thing you know, you're going to be on that canvas looking at the lights, and you may get the jailbreak before it's over with, which is, you see the Baldo bomb used by Albert and Tensai back in the day. Here he is. Leon the Bull Stresser uses it, calls it the jailbreak. So we'll see what happens between this clash of the Titans. Logan Creed at 6'9", taking on 6'4", Leon the Bull Stresser.
Well, as we make our way up to the top of the hour, as Dan said a couple of minutes ago, we were originally slated to be joined by the Dream Killer, Eric Wayne. Still have a couple of minutes if he's able to get in. If he's actually after the top of the hour, we can actually bring him on back to basics. Looking forward to having, and always great to be able to speak to Mr. Wayne. We may not always philosophically agree, but he's always fun to talk with. Folks, of course, remember, mark your calendars, make your plans. Saturday night, January the 28th. It is going to be a great time. And one other thing I want to make sure to add in is the simple fact: this will be an ITV taping. Bring your posters, bring your banners, bring your signs, bring your t-shirts. Bring yourself ready to cut loose and blow the roof off the Pell City Civic Center on Saturday, January 28th, 2017 for GCW Regeneration. Also, there are a lot more things going on at Regeneration 2017 than what we're letting on right now. We've got some stuff that we're definitely going to be breaking out next week, as well as we have another one. I do believe, Dan, you said there was one other you wanted to bring up in particular tonight, or did you want to wait till next week?
Yeah, no, let's talk about, we're going to be joined on this card with Michael Steele and Joey Lightning. I don't know what the matchings are for that, but both those guys are going to be there. But, O'Hagan, coming off a loss from the GCW Middleweight Championship, he's taking on a young man that has been finished with his training for probably about 6 or 8 weeks, and that is Cole Sykes. And there's been a lot of hype on the internet, and he's got quite the following. He's an Army guy, and he's active in the National Guard right now, but he is a graduate of the Mad Dog's House of Pain, and I know that board of directors and the booking committee said, this kid's ready. And he comes to me, he goes, yeah, I'm ready. I said, you sure you're ready? He goes, yeah. He goes, who am I wrestling? And I said, you're wrestling O'Hagan.
Congratulations.
And there was silence. And he goes, I can do that. And the reason I have faith in him is not because I spent 30-plus weeks with him. he's one of the fastest moving individuals that I've ever seen in the ring. And I'm talking like Rey Mysterio, Neville fast.
Wow.
I'm telling you, and you think I'm just blowing smoke. No, this kid is fast, and he's got a little bit of grappling background. I don't know how deep it goes, but at training the other day, I said, you got to get ready, and this is what you got to avoid. You've got to avoid, I said, you saw what he did to Charles Zanders with that arm bar, and Uma La Plata, and you've got to watch out, because this guy will not only beat you, he will hurt you. And he's coming with a vengeance himself. He has something he wants to prove, and he wants to prove that he should still be the GCW middleweight champion. And, O'Hagan's like Pavlov's dog. He is licking his lips. He's salivating. He is ready to fight whoever you put across the ring from him. And this young man, he has signed a contract with Commissioner Jack Lord. He is making his debut January 28th. And you always heard the old saying, and you and I both been in the entertainment business where they serve alcohol in the past, and I've been a bouncer, and you've done your DJ work, but I know many times over the years you had to give a little extra hand. Nobody expects the DJ and the man in the booth to come out and be like Dalton from Roadhouse, but you got to get ready, and you never underestimate your opponent, and that's what he's got to capitalize on, is O'Hagan just taking it for granted that this is going to be a walk in the park. And he's going to pull out a few things that O'Hagan will not be ready for. I can promise you that. There's a 50-50 chance one man's going to win, one man's going to lose. But Cole Sykes, he's ready. But my whole point of bringing up the bar business stuff is, there's always been that ongoing saying that if you're going to fight a group, knock out the biggest man in the room. Well, O'Hagan may not be the biggest man in the room, but he's got some of the biggest fight in him of any man in GCW. And, how better a way to get noticed than to pin the former GCW middleweight champion. And that would just be amazing for him. But, come out, support him. He's got a lot of friends coming to see him, a lot of family, and support goes a long way. But, as we know, O'Hagan has got quite the support system, too.
Oh, yeah.
No matter if he's a good guy, bad guy, breakdancing, or coming out to Imperial March, he's got a dark side. And like I warned the young man, Cole Sykes, you get ready, because he's going to want to hurt you, and he wants to make an example of you, of how bad he wants his belt back. So you better come ready to fight. Not just wrestle, come to fight. And, get your hands up and be ready to go. So we'll see. I mean, what a test. You're putting your feet to the fire right there, and I know that's an overused term, but how better to see where you are in your career than to get in there with a guy who has been the GCW heavyweight champion multiple times, a guy that just lost the middleweight championship, and a guy who's held the tag team championship many, many times with many, many different partners. He's got more partners than Pat Patterson, and that's saying something, right?
True.
Oh, hey, wait.
Yes.
Give me a cigarette. No, I'm telling you, Cole Sykes is ready. And O'Hagan's ready. The man drinks more Red Bull than anybody I know, and he works out. And he just like his tattoos, he's always ready. I mean, he's ready to fight, and he's got a dark streak in him, and it's been tapped into. So let's just prepare Cole Sykes for a battle.
I'm looking forward to seeing this because, like I said, I know O'Hagan. I know O'Hagan is going to openly sit back and say that this kid is nowhere near ready to take on somebody like him. But by the same token, never, ever underestimate the person on the other side of the ring. Case in point, Charles Zanders.
Exactly. Charles Anderson. And, I use it all the time. People are like, we can't believe that O'Hagan got beat by Charles Anderson. I said, yeah, we'll go back to Monday Night Raw many, many years ago. Scott Hall didn't think he was going to get beat by Lightning Kid or the 1-2-3 Kid. Went on to be X-Pac six-pack. And you can lose at any time. You're just a pinfall away or a submission away or unable to go. I mean, it's just that right time. Anything can happen in wrestling. Look, Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in minutes.
True.
So I'm telling you, in professional wrestling, you can lose at any time, and it could just happen in the blink of an eye. And you say don't blink all the time.
Yep.
The action is going to be hot for Regeneration 2017, January the 28th at the Bell City Civic Center.
Remember, bell time is 7:30 p.m. Tickets open. Tickets are $10 each, and while they last, because remember, it's first come, first serve on the reservations. You can reserve ringside seating while they are still available. GCWmedia@yahoo.com. Now, I have been asked the question, and let me go ahead and do this. We send everybody through the email address because the front office monitors that address on a daily basis. If you do it on Facebook, there is a chance that we may miss it. That's
exactly true.
That's a straight shoot, kids. Or as Sting said on Impact that one episode, and that, my friends, is what they call a shoot. There you go. Use the email address, gcwmedia@yahoo.com. It's just that easy. From there, also, we are going to be building an event page in the next little while. It'll be up before the end of the evening. By the way, speaking of things that transpire on social media and the internet, yes, we're not kidding. There was another brand new episode of GCW TV posted very recently. I just saw the notification about it, so that's why I haven't really had a chance to distribute. It's like I didn't even know it was up, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, we have another new episode. Cool. So I'm gonna be getting everything circulated on that and getting it posted on .com before the end of this evening. But to everybody who has been tuning in, the numbers have been great. Thank you. And please, if you have friends and family who enjoy good pro wrestling, GCWPro.com is the home site. YouTube, just look up GCW Pro Wrestling or Global Championship Wrestling on YouTube. You can find it both ways. We'll also be posting the links through our social media sites, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, all of the above. No, we don't use Tout because I think it died a flaming death and we're not doing Periscope right now. Although, you never know, we might pull a Facebook Live on the 28th. Why? Because we can. Also, I do want to let everybody know that if you have Snapchat, going to go ahead and let you know now, if you make it to Regeneration at the Pell City Civic Center on Saturday night, January the 28th, we will have a very special one-night only Snapchat filter available. So when you're taking the group shots and the selfies, feel free, use it, love it, save it, post it, all of the above. So once again, if you're on Snapchat, on Saturday night, January 28th at Regeneration 2017, we will have a very special Snapchat filter there for the Pell City Civic Center. So inside that perimeter, you'll be able to find it. Reboot Snapchat, take your picture, scroll through, you'll find the Regeneration GeoFilter, or as it's called GeoFilter, but the Snapchat filter for Global Championship Wrestling that night at the Pell City Civic Center. Dan, anything else before we take it to the Radio Ranch?
No, I mean, we'll be back next Tuesday night to do a little more GCW radio, but you've heard what's coming up. Fatal 4-Way GCW Heavyweight Championship. Micah Taylor, former GCW champion. The Dream Chaser, Dylan Cook. Eric Wayne, the Dream Killer. And the king of professional wrestling, Francisco Ciatso, who we appreciate coming in tonight and talking to us on his 2-year anniversary. And the man is a promoting machine, and he's staying busy. But, looking forward to seeing everybody out January the 28th in Pell City, Alabama, Pell City Civic Center. 7:30 Central Time is the bell time. Doors opening at 7 o'clock. Tickets are only $10. Come on down, get there early, get you some good seats. Like I said, we told you how to get in touch with us about some ringside, and there are a lot of those already gone, but there's still plenty left. So get there early, make your plans, bring your family. It's family fun. There's not swearing going on, and it's something you can, no matter if you're 3 years old or 103, you can have a great time and enjoy yourself with some grassroots style pro wrestling. A lot of times people say, I don't like the direction the WWE is going in. Well, good. I like WWE, but come enjoy this. This is what you grew up on with the Continental Championship Wrestling and the Southeastern Championship Wrestling back in the day with Bullet Bob and Tojo and all those guys. And that's why we still like to pay homage to Bullet and many of the superstars in the past that we've seen come through, like Dirty Dutch Mantel, Zeb Coulter, as we spoke about earlier on the break while we were off the air. We've seen a lot of talent come through here, but we're just scratching the surface. And January 28th, Regeneration 2017 is history will be made. We will have a new GCW heavyweight champion. We've got our new middleweight champion putting his belt on the line, Charles Anders versus P-Dog Mike Posey, and the World Tag Team Champions, the team of Mudbone and the Night Prowler, will be taking on the team of the Barbarians for the World Tag Team Championship. 3 championship matches. That's just a little bit of what's happening. Check us out next week for GCW Radio on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central Time, and be right here waiting to talk to you.
At GCW Pro Wrestling on Twitter and Instagram. Facebook.com/GCW Pro Wrestling is the primary Facebook fan page. MySpace.com/GCW Pro Wrestling as well. We do make some postings over on MySpace. Yes, believe it or not, there are still people over there. And also, let's see, don't forget, GCW Pro Wrestling or Global Championship Wrestling over on YouTube. You can find us there. But, of course, the home site is GCWPro.com. Folks, thank you for hanging with us. As Dan said, we'll be back at it next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. For Mad Dog Dan Sawyer.
We'll see you next week for GCW Radio, and looking forward to seeing everyone live and in person for Regeneration 2017, Saturday night, January 28th. At the Pell City Civic Center in Pell City, Alabama.
I am the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne saying thank you for joining us, and join us next time, next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central, as we go ringside and beyond with Global Championship Wrestling. Bye for now.